Hello, welcome to my other show, Muse. My name is Susan Rushton, and this is the show on which I get to discuss people who are visited by the Muse. Intelligent, creative people. Therefore, that's why I'm here talking about silver screen classic movies. In addition to all the other things I do, I am the benevolent dictator of Silver Screen Classic Movies. I run this classic series the first Saturday of the month in the Auburn Library, 350 Nevada Street in Auburn. I show them 3 times at noon, 3:30, and 7:30 p.m., and they're free. And in the case of the 3:30 show, if the DVD I'm showing includes subtitles, English subtitles, I will provide those at the 3:30 show. With the first and the last show, you're on your own. But Silver Screen, if you're interested in learning more about it, Silver Screen Classic Movie Series, auburnsilverscreen.com. That's the website, auburnsilverscreen.com. You can email me at info@auburnsilverscreen.com. You can phone me, 530-878-7938. And you can join me on every first Saturday and delight in the movies that are now mostly in black and white, and have this. It's a delightful series, and I have lovely people who join me and lovely people who help me. This started as part of the Auburn Arts Commission. When in the 1990s, I was a chamber member of the Arts Commission, and we decided that we needed to figure out ways to raise money for funds to use in other Arts Commission programs. And I was convinced, since I love these movies, that everyone else in the world loves them too. So we'd start this series, Silver Screen Classic Movies. And so several of us, we gathered together, we showed Casablanca first. Casablanca we showed first. And here is this fabulous picture, toward the end of the movie, this fabulous picture of Casablanca, essentially my favorite movie, but there are others. There are others. But we showed Casablanca twice at the State Theater, no, at the DeWitt Theater when it was still open in Auburn. And that was our beginning. We showed that once. That was our first movie, and that was what we showed in 1996, and then we started again, and we started up in 1997. And I learned that not everybody loves these movies the way I do. And we showed the movies in the City Council chambers, this lovely, lovely venue with 161 seats, a lovely balcony, comfortable seats, and there were some nights we only had 2 people in the audience. So the Arts Commission outpopulated the audience. It was tough, and it dawned on us, all of us, that we needed to find legs. We needed to get the word out. The word needed to be spread. And finally, after 2 years, the commission said, "Susan, this isn't working. We're not making any money, and we're tired of this." So my husband and I decided to do it on our own, and the library said, the major librarian, the head librarian said, if you say the library presents Silver Screen, you can use the Beecher Room for free. So that was lovely. It was just tremendous. And so since that was in April of 1999 that we started in the Beecher Room, and now we are still in the Beecher Room after that would be 19 years in the Beecher Room. And I am tickled. I am grateful to the library. Mary George, Director of Library Services, presents the series, pays for the movies, and it's a lovely, lovely thing for the library to do. And I'm grateful to her and the system. So even though the library presents Silver Screen, I am the benevolent dictator of the series. If I don't want to see a movie, I'm not going to show it 3 times. Somebody else might want to see a movie, and so they can see it. But if I don't want to see it, and there are lots of wonderful movies, it's just I can't tolerate seeing the Pawnbroker 3 times, or Long Day's Journey into Night 3 times. I would love to be able to show Gone with the Wind, but it's too long. So you get to see it when it comes to the state, or you get to see it at home. So this is the first month. This is the first month, January of 2018, and I am showing. I get to show 12 of some of my favorite movies. This is the 2018 brochure, and it's available at coffee shops and the Auburn Airport and various places in town. This is the 2018 brochure. So in January, the first Saturday of the month, I'm showing Duck Soup with the Marx Brothers. This is a movie I showed, I think, the first year, and I'm reprising the Marx Brothers, and it is a crazy movie. It is lots of fun. It is the last movie they made for Paramount before they went to MGM, and the Marx Brothers are filled with chaos, and that's one of the things that makes it so much fun. This is from 1933, a time that was the worst period of the Depression, and one would think that true chaos and punching out the stuffed shirts in politics would cause much laughter, and it does in 2018. So please consider. That's the Marx Brothers, all 4 of them. And that was the last movie that the 4 of them made together. And when they went over to MGM, they got Zeppo said, "I'm tired of this. I'm gonna start a company where I can promote you guys." And that's what he did. So this is the last movie Zeppo is in. So that's in January. In February, I have Some Like It Hot with, among other people, Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe is this astonishing woman, and she is paired by Jack Lemmon and Tony Curtis, among other people, and directed by Billy Wilder. Billy Wilder, this was the second movie she appeared in, directed by him, and he knew what he was getting into. She was chronically late, chronically nervous, chronically unable and perhaps unwilling to remember her lines. But God, you look at her and you look at the way this woman is dressed, this Zoftig woman with this incredible dress, these incredible dresses that show her boobs. It's just amazing, just amazing. And it's hilarious because Jack Lemmon and Tony Curtis are dressed up as women escaping the mob because they witnessed the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. That's an amazing movie. And I have it on February 3rd. Oh God, that's an amazing movie. In March 3rd, I have Not as a Stranger with Olivia de Havilland and who is that? And Robert Mitchum. He didn't like acting very much, and so he stayed as still as possible. While everybody else was racing around, he was still. He said, "Baby, I don't care whatever you print about me. I don't care. Make stuff up. I don't care." So, and this movie, Not as a Stranger, is based on a book written by a guy who lived in Auburn. And he wrote about a guy who lived in Auburn, a doctor in Auburn. So that's primarily why I'm showing this movie. It also has Robert Mitchum in it and Olivia de Havilland and Frank Sinatra. And it's a curious movie, and I think people should come see it, and because it's about people who lived in Auburn. April 7th, I have Bob Hope and Roy Rogers and Jane Russell. And Trigger. This is a screwball slapstick comedy. Jane Russell is a con woman who is luring Bob Hope to his doom, and Roy Rogers is a guy who's after Jane Russell. Jane Russell made a name for herself with a movie. Gosh, I can't remember the name of it, but she had to wear a personalized bra, and it was all about her cleavage, and it was a Western. And just nuts, just a nutty movie. And so is this. And Trigger plays his part too. In May 5th, I'm showing The Rainmaker with Katharine Hepburn and Burt Lancaster. This is rather an amazing movie. Katharine Hepburn is a spinster who attracts the attention of Burt Lancaster, and that makes it important. That's the kind of role she wants to be loved for who she is, not what she looks like. And not because she's not stupid. She's a bright woman, and nobody's interested in bright women where she and her brothers and her father live. So that it's a romance and an adventure. Okay, next. June 2nd, I'm showing a movie called Unfaithfully Yours. This is with Rex Harrison and Linda Darnell. Rex Harrison is typecast in this movie. He plays a pompous symphony director who is convinced that his wife is cheating on him. So he imagines 3 ways while he is conducting the symphony, 3 ways of getting even with her / killing her. And then when he goes home, tries to make one of those come true, and therefore, and doing this, he makes a bigger ass of himself than he already is. And this is directed by Preston Sturges. Preston Sturges did fabulous stuff in the 40s. He knows about comedy, knows what people laugh at, knows why people laugh, and knows how to make people laugh. Preston Sturges is a brilliant director, and he did what was really wonderful in the 40s to make people laugh. And Unfaithfully Yours is a great movie. This was one of the movies I showed in the city council chambers, and I'm bringing it back. July 7th, I'm showing Home of the Brave. Home of the Brave is produced by Stanley Kramer, and it focuses on post-traumatic stress syndrome in a black soldier in World War II when he is when he's assigned to a unit of white soldiers. This would not have happened and we agree this would not have happened before 1945. Wouldn't have happened before 1948 when Harry Truman desegregated the armed forces. But this is so essentially this is a fantasy posing as realism, based on a play that was about prejudice against Jews. This is, and they changed it in the movie to prejudice against black people. And he has to, the black soldier has to deal with his disability. That is he is convinced his best friend didn't treat him right, and now his best friend is dead. Is that true? Did his best friend mistreat him? We learn, and when the black soldier can't walk toward the beginning, and he learns different things about himself, and he suddenly, maybe he can walk. All right, next, August 4th. And I'm showing this in August because August is the dog days of summer, and I'm showing Rear Window, a Hitchcock movie with James Stewart and Grace Kelly. Oh my, isn't she a gorgeous woman? James Stewart is trapped in his apartment by Hitchcock because he has a broken leg and can't leave the house, and so he's bored, and this photographer Stewart looks out his window because he's so bored and spies on his neighbors. So we're spying on Stewart, spying on his neighbors, and Hitchcock is spying on us, spying on Hitchcock, spying on his neighbors, and Stewart discovers a possibility of murder by one of his neighbors across the way, and he tries to figure out whether indeed a murder was committed. And being Hitchcock, lo and behold, a murder was committed. So that's my Hitchcock movie on August 4th. On September 1st, I have a movie called Desire with Gary Cooper and Marlene Dietrich. This is a sensual, sexy, romantic, bad movie. It's, by bad, I mean Marlene has stolen some pearls and has slipped them into Gary Cooper's pocket, and that's why she's trailing after him all over Europe. He seems to think at first he's convinced, this gawky, handsome guy, he's convinced that she must be after him because she loves him. But lo and behold, it's because of those pearls. But that doesn't stop Marlene, this lovely blonde, long-legged woman, from having a little fun, which is what she always does in her movies. That's September 1st, Desire. And I think the title says it all. Alrighty, October. October 6th, I have The Maltese Falcon. This is my personal Maltese Falcon. I just love this piece. And I love the movie, and that's why I have it on, I have the a close-up of the Falcon on the front of this year's brochure. I just love this, and I whenever I do this on the front of the brochure, I have to show the movie toward the end of the year. And I would have loved to show the first movie, but then people would keep expecting the Falcon every month, but no. All right. So we have The Maltese Falcon. That movie is John Ford's first stint as, not John Ford, John Huston's first stint as director. He'd spent several years doing some screenwriting, and he said, I just want the opportunity to direct my own screenplays. Warner Brothers had gotten all of its money's worth out of this story twice before, and they did The Maltese Falcon and Satan Met a Lady as the remake of that first Maltese Falcon, and neither one of them was as brilliant as Huston's Maltese Falcon. For one thing, we have Bogart in it, and we have Sidney Greenstreet in his first movie. He'd spent decades on stage, and Huston said, "Come be in this movie." It's a wonderful film noir, and because it's a film noir, we have to have a femme fatale, and the femme fatale is Mary Astor. And in a film noir, what makes it a film noir is darkness and sex and crime and a bad woman. And what makes a bad woman bad is not her. She's bad because she knows about sex, and she knows how to use sex to get advantage, take advantage of any man around. She knows more than she should, and the men around her know that she knows more than she should, which makes her extremely attractive. But because this is 1941, smack in the middle of the production code era, we cannot have a woman who knows about sex and uses her sex for untoward to her untoward advantage. She cannot end up well. She either has to die, she has to go into a nunnery, or she has to go to jail. And this is basic production code stuff, because the first rule of the production code said that no movie shall be produced that will lower the morals of anybody watching. So if Bridget O'Shaughnessy had succeeded in seducing everybody and getting away with it, what would that have meant for America? So that's why that's why it's Bridget O'Shaughnessy, Mary Astor, cannot succeed in her badness. So that's October. November, I have Bogart. No. Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers in what is ostensibly their best movie. This is, I beg your pardon, this is Swing Time. I think it's their seventh movie together, and they hated being a team, but their movies made so much money that how could they say no? So this is the movie. The story doesn't matter, and we know they're going to get together at the end. The point of the movie is they're dancing together. They're dancing and singing together, and seeing how that happens. And we get to watch Fred Astaire do his thing, and we get to watch Ginger do her thing backwards in heels, and it's always a kick to watch them. Alrighty, who else? What else? So that's my musical, and on November 3rd, and The Black Pirate is coming on December 1st, and that's also the day of the Festival of Lights parade. So you can come in the morning, come at first, and then see it later, or go to the parade and come to the movie later. This is Douglas Fairbanks doing his swashbuckling best as a good pirate. He's a good guy. He's getting even with the pirates who killed his father. And Douglas Fairbanks was a big deal. He was a major league swashbuckler. He was a major league adventurer in his movies. He and Mary Pickford got married and moved to their estate called Pickfair. And this is probably one of the first Technicolor movies. This was 1926, 1925, yet it is two-color Technicolor. And it's silent, and I have a piano player coming to play for all three movies. That is 2017. No, that's 2018's schedule for Silver Screen Classic Movies. I want to let you know that, yes, most of these, in fact, all of them, you can see by yourself at home. You can rent them all. You can you can find them on DVD and take them home, or you can look at them on your phone. But I'm on my soapbox here, and I won't stay here long. It's a different movie when you're not just watching television. It's when you are surrounded by people who are also happy to be there, happy to see you, happy to see the movie, and the movie's on a big 5x5 screen, even bigger sometimes. There's a sense of occasion, and this is how the movies were supposed to be seen, in a crowd on a big screen. And this is why I am thrilled to do this, because it's the only way I get to see these movies in a crowd on a big screen in Auburn on the first Saturday of the month. All right. The movies are always on the first Saturday. At noon, 3:30, and 7:30. I have, if possible, if subtitles are available, I show them. I include them at the 3:30 production. And the movies are free. Thank you very much, Mary George, Director of Library Services. But we'd be delighted to sell you popcorn. And I also thank the people who are kind enough to join me in making popcorn. All right, the Silver Screen Classic Movie Series, the first Saturday of the month. AuburnSilverScreen.com is the website, and it's a wonderful website. And you can email me at info@auburnsilverscreen.com or give me a call, 530-878-7938. But meanwhile, please come to the movies on the first Saturday of the month. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.